set things up a little bit differently here. Hello everyone, how you doing on this fine day? You looking after yourselves? You doing all good? Everything going well? I sure hope it is. So what is everyone doing on this fine night? How was everyone's day? Before we, I'm trying to shuffle in closer. Before we dive into this thing. And it is Friday tomorrow. Lucky for us. Well, lucky for you, I guess. But yeah, what be doing? I know some people are reading books. What's going on? What is everyone doing? May Day happened. I'm gonna go grab Milo for a little bit. For me, work has also been going slow. Which sucks so much when it's for like 10 hours. I'll be 1 second, I'm gonna go get Milo. Right, sorry about that. Here I come. Wait, my day happened. Yes, I woke up very late, so I only got your message really late, unfortunately. You have read quite a lot of Iron Flame, Jenny, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then your day, I'm oof. Do not envy you at all. So I'm going to just show you a little bit while I wait for you all. Just kind of tell me about your day a bit more. So, Alchemist Folly, a horror game book by Victoria Hancox. I've done a review on one of her other books, which was Night Shift, which was pretty good. I would like to do a live of that at some point. I have made up this thing because it goes with code words and other things, and I made a little bit of notes for us all. So we have some stuff we can actually write down and work out, because there's going to be a lot of puzzles in this. It's a very puzzle-based book where we have to figure a lot of things out, and certain code words mean certain things can happen. We can do things or we can't do things, and so on and so forth. So, I don't even know what that is. I don't know what I want. Do I want to know what that is? Probably not. Folly, a lack of good sense, understanding, or foresight. B, an act or costly undertaking having an absurd or ruinous outcome. That's lovely. Then it kind of goes into little bits and stuff. But, this is where I'm going to read it for you. Oh, I remember, actually, maybe that could be... It could be a Halloween stream, absolutely. So, Alchemist Folly is an interactive story with a difference. You don't have to choose your character's attributes. After all, you're just a normal person going to a normal job interview, aren't you? What could possibly go wrong? More than you think. This day is not going to go quite the way you had planned. You're going to find out that Bio Imperium has got a very different idea of what this job entails. And when you finally realise... Where the bloody hell is my thing? Sorry. Hey, thank you for the subscribe. I appreciate it. How are you doing? Bio Imperium has got a very different idea of what this job entails. And when you finally realise that you're in the belly of the beast, the only question will be, can you ever get out? There's no dice to throw, and you won't get through by winning battles, being lucky or using spells and potions. What might help you to cope... to escape the Alchemist's Folly is what you already have. Knowledge. We're not going to live this down. You're going to have to help me with a lot of these things, by the way. You already have knowledge, skill, memory. Oh my god. Definitely not going to make this unless you help me. And a pencil. The best advice is that you have The best advice is that you make notes of all the evidence and hints you find. You'll find space for this on the next pages. You just might make it out if you can piece together the clues and figure out the puzzles. If you're ready, we can start to the next page. And this is where we kind of like... I wrote all this down. Obviously that. But here, we've got a bit of a background for this. You were the first of your family to go to university. True. That is very true. But it was no surprise. It was a surprise. No one expected me to go. You always knew that you were destined for greater things than your small hometown could offer. You studied biotechnology. The subject intrigued you and was a satisfying challenge for your logical brain. My brain is not logical. gonna be bad. It was an exciting field with new frontiers opening up, and the promise of future glories for those daring enough to push the science to its limits. Your research was going to eradicate malaria. Oh, how you thought you would all talk about you. How they would all talk about you with reverence. This is not going well already. Admiring tones. Surely the Nobel Prize would be a done deal. But the research was long-winded and, dare you say it, boring. And maybe more importantly, there was the prestige. The funding was cut, the equipment was old, and the professors were even older. Inevitably, your thoughts started drifting to greener pastures. Somewhere where your genius would, at last, be recognised. Somewhere that valued what you did. Really valued you. The biotech companies with futuristic laboratories and no expanse spared attributes caught your eye. So whether they had a flexible approach to ethics, that just demonstrated their thirst for success. Why shouldn't you share it? After all, where had altruism got you so far? But I'm struggling with this so hard and I don't even know why. That was when the disease struck. Not really a sweeping pandemic, more of a creeping decline. A strange new brain condition which reduced people to zombies. Not the flesh-eating type, no. They were physically fine, it was just that their minds had gone. No thoughts, no opinions, no memories. They were easy to look after though. They were very compliant and obedient, always did exactly as they were told. And then it's got like a little thing here. Scientists still baffled. Fear continues to grow throughout the country as the official number of people suffering from the zombie disease reaches a lot. In some cases, entire families have been afflicted, but oh my god, English. But despite extensive research into the cause, scientists still have no answers. Professor Frankels from Oxford University remarked that it has many similarities with the so-called mad cow disease in the 1980s, but it also seems clear that meat consumption is not the issue here. We are investigating hereditary, environmental, and infective causes and keeping an open mind. That's this little bit here. Now, there was something to get your teeth into. Can you imagine the acclaim if you were the one to find the cure? So, when Bioimperium headhunted you and offered an opportunity to join their pioneering and promising research into the zombie disease, you leapt for it without hesitation. You did think it was strange that they didn't even ask for your CV, but you assumed they had a vast network who had reported your brilliance back to them. In fact, all they wanted was for you to attend an interview at their country offices. Oh my god. A day where you can get to know us and we can really get to know you, the anonymous voice on the phone had explained. You paused for a few seconds, a warning bell going off inside your head, with the oft-used phrase, when things seem too good to be true, they usually are. But at the point, they casually mentioned the salary, a six-figure starting sum, and you agreed. So here you are, at a vast country hall in the middle of nowhere, about to undertake the biggest test of your life. Little do you know, though, it's on yourself. However, there's no going back now, so let's not keep them waiting. Turn to 1. Right, I'm going to have to hold this so I can actually read this out to you all, and then we'll go into this. You park your car, noting that even the gravel has an expensive crunch to it. Yes, we've got zombie families and zombie mad cows, pretty much. All the other cars are top-end models, a fact which both impresses and embarrasses you with your second-hand, slightly dilapidated, oh my god, Volkswagen. I hate words I can't pronounce. Still, not for much longer if you play your cards right. There is a motto above the grand doorway. One name for many and many names for one. Which is quirky, but for the money they're offering, you're not going to let a little oddness put you off. You stride into the entrance hall, trying to exude an aura of confidence. But there is no one there, just a small table with some name badges on it. You go over and are relieved to see your own name there. You pin it onto your lapel and pick up the company leaflet. Bioimperium, welcome to Bioimperium, your team building activity day. Yes, Jenny, most of the English language. Well, not really your thing, but needs must, you suppose. Sometimes you have to jump through a few hoops in order to get to where you need to in life. But where is everyone else? Surely a team building session requires other people to build teams with. At that moment, a young but serious looking man emerges from a doorway and walks silently towards you. He holds out his hand and attempts unsuccessfully to smile. Not quite the best person for the welcoming party, you think. The first activity is an escape room. Please come this way, he announces. He's already set off back down the hall when he adds, leave your phone and briefcase there. They will be taken care of. You scramble after him, feeling that this is highly unusual to say the least, but wondering too if it's just one of those convoluted tests that companies do these days, wheedling out the weak in a vast ocean of average applicants. Well, there was no way you were going to fail this. You'd show them. You walk past him into a modestly sized room, modest considering the scale of the house, and turn to ask him where the other people are. But before you can utter a word, he simply states, whatever you do, don't look inside the filing cabinet, then closes the door and locks you in. You stand there dumbfounded for a while, then try the door handle. Yes, definitely locked in. So the escape room team building activity is you, by yourself. You mutter a curse under your breath and decide to make the best of it. This is a test of your ingenuity, Jesus, and initiative, so be it. You take a proper look around, but it doesn't take long. Other than the filing cabinet and a tatty looking notice board, there's no furniture. It's just plain and empty, and possibly the worst escape room you've ever seen. There are no windows, but in the opposite corner is the exit. You know that will be locked, but check it just in case. Of course it is. You also notice the keypad next to the door frame. It needs 3 digits. You sigh with barely concealed annoyance. There is no way to treat someone of your caliber. But first things first, you need to work out the 3-digit number is, and then get out of this stupid room. Taking a few deep breaths. Hey Luna, how you doing? Taking a few deep breaths to focus, you look around again. Obviously a notice board will have a clue in it. There must be a reason why he pointed out the filing cabinet. After all, if you really didn't want people to look inside it, they'd lock it or simply remove it. Trying to work out all the permutations, oh my god, and machinations. Words! You make a beeline for the filing cabinet. Turn to 122. Oh, is it? Oh, 1 second. Let me sort that out. Thank you for bringing that up. I will change that now. Text color shall be... It shall now change. Would it be silly? I don't think it would be silly. There we go. White text. So we turn into 122. I would, to be honest, I would also check the filing cabinet. It is a standard issue. 2-drawer, grey filing cabinet. And you tap your fingers contemplatively. Oh my god. Why do they have to use big words? While you mull over the instruction to not open it. This sounds like one of those psychological tests where children are told that they can't have the chocolate and then they're left alone with it. You look around but can't see any hidden cameras, although that doesn't mean there aren't any. You feel a new grudging respect for Bio-Imperium. It looks like they're trickier than you give them credit for, but does that help with your current conundrum? If you decide to open the filing cabinet, turn to 329. What you think it's wiser to do as you're told, turn to 76. So here's the first thing. Are we going to open the filing cabinet, or are we going to do as we're told? There we go. That's a question for us all. What do you think? Open the filing cabinet or don't? Thank you, Luna. I appreciate that. I struggle so much with it. And I don't even know why. Like, I don't even know what the issue is. You know? I try, though. I try. So, what are we thinking? Do the filing or no? What I am going to do is do something very specific. So I'm just going to put this in there for a second. Sorry. Wait. Here we go. Here you all go. Doing a little poll for this. Let's do this. Oh, what the heck? Open the filing cabinet. Sure. I'm just gonna close that because I don't need to see it. Wow. Okay. I see how it is gonna be. Let's open the filing cabinet. Turn to 329. I think I should make like a little death section on the corner over here. Filing cabinet, we need a code. True. 329. Let's do this. With a hefty tug, you open the heavy drawer. It is crammed full of files. So you pull out one to see what is being stored here. The Manalia folder is labelled Archived Subjects 2014, and inside is a batch of passports and driving licenses. You flick through a few. It's a wide variety of people from students to retirees. Were they hired? Oh my god, were they here for research purposes, enrolling in a clinical trial to earn some extra cash? Maybe, but what about the people from? You scan some of the passports. Brazil, Japan, and Nigeria. And if they were here in 2014, why are their passports still in this room? You open the second drawer and remove another folder full of identification documents, current subjects held in the crucible. All in all, you reckon this filing cabinet has thousands of subjects. With an uneasy feeling, you shut the drawer, but your options are presently. Christ, help me. Limited. In fact, all you can do now is inspect the notice board. Turn to 244. I think that's going to mess us up later on. 244. This. Oh no. Okay, this is a long one. You stand in front of the corkboard and methodically peruse everything. I had to think about that word then. Did you see that? There is a postcard from Whitby, dated 16th May 1897, which, despite not having a stamp, wishes that the recipient was there. Next to that is a veterinarian appointment reminder for the booster jabs needs to ensure Sharpenter's continuing good health. Your eyes drift over these to a torn out page from a notebook which is pinned at the side. Yes, that looks more like it, you think, and take it down from the notice board to scrutinize it closely. I'm going to show you in a second. The document of strange hieroglyphics resisting my efforts to unlock its secrets. Unfortunately, I only got as far as translating one word, nest. The writing ends with these words, which appear to be about numbers and of great importance. Maybe I have enough thought to decipher the code. I'm going to show you this now before we continue this. So that's what we've pulled off. That's what we've got, these hieroglyphics. So we're probably going to have to work this out in a minute. So fun times. We're going to fail at this. Really? Could this be any easier? You give a brief tut of disappointment, but grab a pen from your jacket pocket and start working on the puzzle. Once you have the answer, you can enter the 3-digit number into the keypad and turn immediately to the section with the same number. If you have no idea what the number is, you can sit down on the floor and wait for the door to be unlocked. No, let's do this. Let's do this. So, we know that is T easily. So, we've got a T. The box is E, so we know it's got to be 3 easily, right? And then the next one is E. Is that gonna be 8? No. It's gotta be. It's gotta be 8, and the next one is 7. Easily. There we go. 387. Boom! We have faith. I smart. Okay, so it's 378, there we go, is the door code. I love this type of shit. Do we have faith in this? I see that a lot of people have voted that I'm going to die too many times, and the odd person has done less than 5, and I appreciate that person. Thank you. The poll is still going to be up, though. Let's see how well we do. Peanuts out the window as well. So I'm assuming we have to go to the 387, I assume, in the book. Do this. Yeah, it is as well. Yee! 1 second, Peanuts out the window, just to be a pain. What do you think of that? That's the kind of puzzle we're going to be getting. We're going to be getting codes, things we have to remember, things we have to... that will probably help us later on. What do you think so far? Sorry, Peanuts at the window. Come on, in, out. Out, come on. Go. You know, I thought that. Yes. Angry with. Cat! She doesn't like it. Here you go. Come on. She was like, no! You were doing those codes yourself? I'm rubbish at those. It was easy. Because it gives us like a couple of like the beginning letters. Easily. So we'll see how well it goes as we go on, because I think it's easy at the start, and then it gets harder as we go through. So. Okay. So it had hieroglyphics. I'll show you. So it spelled nest, right? And we realized that the T is the D at the star. So, and then we got the 2 E's there, so it's 3. Then that was 8, because it started with an E and it ended with a T. And this one, S, and that was N, so 7. So it's pretty much just working out the odd one little thing. So it was really easy and simple. So we turned to 387. You typed the numbers in confidently. After all, it wasn't difficult. Once you deciphered the hieroglyphics, it said 387, which we did. A green light flashes on the keypad, and there is a deep clunk as the door unlocks. Expecting a grand reception, you push the door open and walk through to receive your congratulations. But there are no cheers or cries of well done. The door closes with a heavy thud, and then there is silence. You're in a straight and echoing corridor with cold stone flags on the floor and thick church candles which throw flickering and shifting light around. Through a hidden door, the young, unsmiling man emerges and gives you a curt nod. He keeps his hands suspiciously behind his back and asks, "We need to know whether you will obey instructions, so tell me, did you look inside the filing cabinet?" It's a good question, but what is your answer? Do we say no? Or do we say yes? What are we doing? No or yes? Oh. Listen, right, you're all doing this with me. We're all making these decisions together. It makes me nervous that he has his hands behind his back. We can lie or we can tell the truth. It gives us that option. That's the kind of book this is. But the thing is, will it catch us out? No, it won't catch us out. Oof. As there's a lot of talk full of choices, I missed the question. The question is, we need to know whether you will obey instructions, so tell me, did you look inside the filing cabinet? But he keeps his hands suspiciously behind his back when he asks us that question, so we can either say, no, I didn't, or yes, I did. Say no, lie. We can do that. Turn to 90. We're gonna do a lot of stupid things in this, aren't we? Okay. Well, it's worth a try. Maybe there was no hidden cameras, so you can get away with the lie. The man makes a slight movement of his mouth, which he presumes is a smile, then says, "Please continue, and good luck with the rest of the interview." No, I can't lie in general, to be honest, but in the book, we get to lie. He waves you along the corridor, then disappears back through the door. You hear it lock, giving you no option but to do as instructed. Turn to 173. Ooh. 173. You walk. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna need a map for this. So we're gonna turn this page around because we're gonna have to draw a map, I believe. You walk cautiously along until reaching a junction. Oh no. We're gonna start down here. So we've walked through the hallway, and then we've got a T junction. Yeah. Okay. You walk cautiously along until reaching a junction at which a life-sized marble statue stands. It looks like a Roman woman. She's wearing a long tunic and has an owl perched on her outstretched hand. The plaque on the plinth declares this is Minerva? Oh my god. This word here. Minerva. Or Minerva, I don't know. Minerva sounds more like it, to be honest. I mean, normally, yes, but I always forget. Like, with Fighting Fantasy, the Caverns of the Snow Witch, we didn't actually have to do that. We still actually completed it without doing a map. I know. Lovely, but not much use, you think. However, if you look left and right, there are large, stately doors that they will surely be more constructive. They're open too, so you can see that the right-hand door leads to a library, whereas the left takes you to a large but seemingly empty room. Where would you like to go? So here we have an empty room, and then we have a library here. I'm gonna have to do this with pen, I can't see it. So, have a library. Wait. Yeah, library for the right. I had to look then. And then the other one is empty. It's a name. It is a name. But I don't know who that is. I think if I knew, like... I mean, yeah, library would make more sense. So we were going right then to the library. Yeah, but I don't know a lot about Roman stuff. Sad to say. But that's where we're at. So we're turning right to 47. Okay. I'm just going to put 47 there as well. You stride confidently into the room, taking in the vast quantity of dusty old editions and the lack of windows. There is another door to your left, and on the opposite side, a large crackling fire. So we have a door on the left. And the opposite, a large crackling fire. You feel tempted to sit in one of the leather chairs and take a break. It might be useful to contemplate what is going on and what your next move would be. But suddenly you realize that one of the chairs is already occupied. You could ask assertively, "Who are you?" or inquire respectively, "Excuse me, may I join you?" Oh, is it? It's a secret society. It's the ancient goddess of wisdom and the arts identified by the Greek goddesses Athena. Perfect, so library is the correct way to go then. That would make sense. Thank you for that, Luna. So, are we going to ask them who they are, or are we going to be respectful? I mean, library definitely makes sense then, doesn't it, Luna? So we have a fire, and then we have a chair, a person sitting in. So we've literally just have that. Respectful. Respectful seems like a good way to go. So we say, "Excuse me, may I join you?" Turn to 212. I do appreciate you all joining me. It's very kind of you, by the way. The stranger sits forward and gestures with his brandy glass to the spare chair. He's wearing a business suit, although he has loosened his tie. I'd be delighted, he says. I'm Otto. You must be feeling a little bewildered by now. You nod warily and remark how this isn't like any interview you've ever had before. He laughs in agreement, then says, and it's not over yet. What may help you, though, is the secret passageway. I don't know where it is, but I've heard there is a clue to its whereabouts hidden in the pantry. You repress a sigh. So this test isn't over yet then, but you smile at Otto and thank him for the advice. At this point, he makes a sudden move of the head, as if he's heard something. You heard nothing, but still he said that he must go and wishes you good luck. After he's departed, you attempt to stand up from the plush armchair and hear a faint jangle from underneath the cushion. With a swift sweep of the hand, you gather up 5 gold coins. Okay. Let me just turn this over. We have... let me just put it aside. I'll do this. We have 5 gold coins. Oof. At least they look like they're gold. Well, finders keepers, you think, and drop them into a pocket before surveying the room. Do you want to have a snoop at the bookcase or the large globe in the corner of the room? So here we go. Do you want to look at the bookcase or the globe? It's rare that I have whiskey. It's rare that I have whiskey for a good reason. I can't drink it like that. No, just little amounts, and it's very rare that I do drink as well. So there we go. I know you say loot, but is that the bookcase? Oh no, we got loot. The 5 gold coins. Yeah. So we have a globe in the corner of the room as well. I'm just gonna put a little circle here for a globe. That's the globe. I'm so good at drawing maps. So yes, we can either... What are we thinking? Bookcase or globe? What are we thinking? Or are we just going to roll the dice for this for the 50-50 chance? Bookcase? Have a snoop at the bookcase. Turn to 106. You stand back from the shelves, hands on hip, and appraise the collection. There are too many books here for you to study them all, but then you notice one volume on a lower shelf that is distinctly sticking out. Without hesitation, you crouch down, grab the green spine, and pull. You give a self-satisfied smile. Oh, as the bookcase swings open, revealing a narrow, dark staircase. So we found it. Seconds later, your smile is replaced by a contorted grimace as the vile stench assails you. Good God, what is down there? Is this the secret passageway Otto was talking about? So, do you brace yourself and head down into the depths, or decide against it and close the shelves tightly shut? So there is a spiral. So, I wish I kind of made this a bit higher. We'll say it's this way, through the spiral staircase. Ooh, swinging bookcase. Love. Have you? Oh, I watched a video very recently where this guy actually made a swinging bookcase and how he did it, so you can do it. You have whiskey. Love that. Head down the spiral staircase with the smell. Are we sure? This may be our first death. Your death count is going very high, Jenny. Let's see. Head down to the depths. 358. I mean, fair. Very fair, Luna. You peer down into the darkness and English is hard. I'm rolling with the death counts now. You are. You peer down into the darkness and can see a light switch halfway down. Holding your breath against the stench of excrement, ammonia, and decomposition, you descend the narrow wooden treads. Oh god. Gagging and with streaming eyes, you finally make it to the switch, then look into the small cellar room. There is a large shape in the center which is covered with a black sheet, and as you stare, you hear a moaning noise. Something is inside it. Do you decide to be prudent and first fetch a poker from the library so you have a weapon, or throw caution to the wind and head down to find out who or what is under the black sheet? That's my sheet, by the way. I know what I would pick, but what do you all want to pick? Because this is as much an adventure as it is for me with you. Weapon, just in case. That is the correct answer, by the way. Very correct. So I'm going to actually go up and say we do that. Turn to 152. We spin around and thunder purposely up the stairs. Yes, a poker is definitely a good idea, and a thread collapses and you fall heavily forward onto the remaining steps. Your legs swinging in the air, ignoring the pains in your ribs, you drag yourself up, and once you've established that nothing is broken, just plenty of bruises, you kick the shelves closed, shouting a curse. Wait, what? A tread collapses. Right, got it. Sorry, a thread. A tread collapses and you fall heavily forward onto the remaining steps. Your legs swinging in the air. Ignoring the pain in your ribs, you drag yourself up, and once you've established that nothing is broken and just plenty of bruises, you kick the shelves closed, shouting a curse for good measure. Fair enough now, and decide that it's time to speak to someone from Bio Imperium. You leave the library. We leave the library 100%. Okay. So 299. We're not going down them stairs. Fuck that. Okay. 299. I can't remember a poker. There was a fire there, so I'm assuming there would be a poker with the fire to keep the flames going. The door opens to a short... What? Okay. It said 299. Jesus, Milo. Milo. What number were we on then? I'm very confused right now because I feel like that wasn't the right way. I'm always confused because it said 299, but I'm confused at what happens. We ran up the stairs and then it's all of a sudden door opens to a short brick-lined corridor, and without your phone you have no idea what time it is or how long you spent in a disturbing and sinister place. I've messed something up here because it doesn't make sense. It said to go to 299. So, what were we doing originally? Milo, be quiet. Milo, what are you barking about? Shush. We were in the library, but I don't remember what door that was. You know what I mean? I'm trying to find the pages where we were at. Yes, Huff Milo. I'm trying to go back to that bit to see... Wait, I can do this. I can do this. Let me just go back a bit to 357 and go back from there, because it's weird. Yes, Peanuts. He's barking at Peanut. Fantastic. No, it was 35. No, 387. Oh my god. I'm losing it. I'm absolutely losing it. It was to 90. 1 second. And then it was to 173. I'm gonna figure this out. We turned right, so we went to 47. I'm gonna have to do the save points again so we remember this. 47, and then we went to 212. And then we went to 106. Went to 358 to go down. 1 second, it was 358. And then we went to 152. That's where we decide to go up. 152. See, I'm good. Just have to go backwards. 152. Yeah, you leave the library to 299. Okay, so I'm assuming we basically went down to the empty place then. So we're going this way then. So we leave the library. Unless we go to this door. I don't know. It doesn't specify which one we go through. I'm assuming it would be not the empty room. There we go. Okay. No, I've not got lost. We've got save points. We're good. I found the place. We were in the right place. It was just confusing because we leave the library. Do we go this way or do we go to the empty room? It doesn't explain that at all. I'm assuming it talks about the door, so we've gone this way, to be honest. I'm going to use this as a save point now because that's baffled me a little bit because it doesn't explain which way we've gone. The door opens to a short, brick-lined corridor. Yeah, it is. And without your phone, you have no idea what time it is or how long you spent in this disturbing and sinister place. You really don't want this job anymore. But who do you tell? And how do you get out? With no other option, you follow the corridor as it veers to the left, and you can already smell warm milk and caramel. You have arrived at the kitchen. Okay, so we've gone up, and we've turned left. Turn to 348. We're good. We're good. I was just really confused then, because it was just like a random bit, and it didn't explain. So 348. We've gone to the pantry, which is this way. Which is where it's going to be, I'm guessing. 348. Jesus Christ, that baffled me. We're good. Inside, there is a man wearing a white lab coat with an apron tied around his waist over it. He has slicked back grey hair and a thin, long face with a distant hawk-shaped nose. He looks at you with disdain and stops whisking the milk mixture. If this custard curdles, I will not be happy. Thanks, Eno, I appreciate it. What do you mean by this interruption? He's got some attitude, you think, but how should you respond? If you give him a direct glare and shout, I want some answers and I want them now, turn to 240. However, if you prefer to wink and say, I need some help here, and I never forget those who help me, turn to 113. Alternatively, you could be profusely humble and beg, I'm so sorry for the intrusion, but if you could help me, I'd be most graceful, turn to 379. Which way are we wanting to go? So, oops, today is it. This is the kitchen we're at then. There we go. The dude did say, the one that was in the library did say it was in the pantry, so I'm assuming this dude's gonna help us out. You know? So, should we be nice to him? Or should we not? We have 3 options. Pretty much. Jesus. This is going so well already. You know? Very, very well. Number 3. So we're going to be humble. Yes, how's that been going, Eno? So we're going to say, I'm so sorry for the intrusion, but if you could help me, I'd be most grateful. Grateful, turn to 379. 79. He fixes you with a stare, then introduces himself. I'm Dr. Cinnabar, Chief Assistant to Professor Rubidoux. You gasp before you can stop yourself. Professor Rubidoux? The Professor Rubidoux? The actual boss of Bio Imperium? A myth and a legend of ingenuity. Is he here? And even if you had ticked the code word cat, dogs, or snake girl, any thoughts of abandoning to your calling, please are instantly replaced by a burning desire to succeed. So what if there are dubious experiments going on? You can deal with it better than the inside. Better from the inside, surely. You gather yourself, but the doctor isn't paying any attention to your inner conflict. He's whisking the milk again, and while concentrating on task, continues. So we don't have any code words, so we're good. Punch him. Yeah, for sure. Oh, you were asking for the options. I'm sorry. Well, we're already there now. You will face many tests today as part of this process. Professor Rubidoux, oh my god, my voice, requires the best, the very best. You nod in agreement. You've already faced the test of obedience and... What, you interrupt? You mean the escape room? That showed my intelligence, my initiative. The doctor looks at you pityingly. Maybe you shouldn't have that little outburst. Intelligence? With a puzzle that simple? You walked into an unknown situation having given up your one method of communication and allowed yourself to be locked in. It was very much a test of obedience, not to mention the test of dishonesty. Oh, and yes, we know about that. You passed that one with flying colours. Well, when you look at it that way, you suppose the doctor does have a point. You agree and gesture for him to go on. You will proceed as you see fit. That is a test in itself. From here, you should leave via this door. He gestures behind himself to a frosted glass door. You will meet various employees. You frown at the pause. What did that mean? It's all good. You frown at the pause. Yeah, what did that mean? They will also test you as though we need someone who can think on their feet, make tough decisions, and show leadership qualities. However, your overall aim is to reach the professor and bring him the elixir. Do that and you'll prove your worthiness for the job. You may find objects on your travel that you think are necessary. Here is a rucksack for these items. You mutter your thanks and swing it onto your back, even though it does spoil the line of your best suit. One more thing, avoid the milk and all things dairy. Heed this warning well. Let me put that down, actually. Avoid milk plus dairy. So there we go, we've got a warning there. And with that, the doctor exits the kitchen. So, you can leave now as instructed, turn to 35, or you can first have a peek inside the pantry. I've been door, let me catch up. Okay, it's all good, it's all good. So, the guy from the previous room, from the library, said that there's a hidden way through the pantry. Or, we can go do what this doctor said and go through... as instructed through a different door. So we know there's a pantry. And a little frosted door. That's what we're thinking. Lactose intolerant, I know. Same. Same, my friend. I am lactose intolerant, so I get it. Oop. Oh, I know, I do not envy you at all. At all. I'm gonna use this as a save point as well. So that is 379. And I feel so sorry for you then as well. I don't envy that at all. At all. I kind of think we should have a peek inside the pantry, because that's where the guy said there was a secret passageway. Then we both do. I think going that way would be good. I'm going to peek inside the pantry. Let's see if my decision actually makes a good one. So 177. It's just a small space of the kitchen and not much of a pantry. There's only salt, vinegar and flour stored here. Just as you're about to leave, you notice a scrap of paper on the floor. So, you bend down and pick it up. It's a riddle. Oh no. Alchemy may seem strange, yet in its heart it seeks a change. I am now a liquid sour, but I'm the key to reach the tower. You'll have luck to find the door if you know what I was before. You read it again carefully. Now a liquid sour? What I was before? You have an inkling of what the answer is. If you find yourself at a location which reminds you of the answer to this riddle, add 50 to the section number you are on at the time, and turn to the new section. For now, though, you have no option but to exit. Okay, let's think about this. It was Professor Plum with the lead pipe. Yes, exactly. There's a clue in pantry for secret. Yeah, that is the thing. So, alchemy may seem quite strange, yet in its heart it seeks a change. I am now a liquid sour, but I am the key to reach the tower. We'll have looked to find the door if you know what I was before. You read it again carefully. Now a liquid sour, what I was before. You have an inkling of what the answer is. If you find yourself at a location with which reminds you of the answer to this riddle, add 50. What do we think? I like alchemy in the fantasy story sense. Are there any fighting fantasy books like that? I believe there is, to be honest. I think there's like 2. I don't own them myself. The best person to ask is if you go into the fighting fantasy section in the Discord, and at Seth, he will be able to give you the actual book. He's much more knowledgeable than me with the fighting fantasy, so I would recommend that. Okay, 177 is pantry. 379 is kitchen. And we need to add 50 to it. So we could either say there's nothing in 177 because that's the pantry. So the other thing I think of is the kitchen. If we add 50 to that, that'll be. Is there 429? Is that a thing? I don't think it would go that high. It's not, because most of them end at 400 or 40. Okay, no. We don't, so we're going to have to go through the kitchen through the frosted. Unless someone else knows that I've missed something completely. So I don't know it. Oh, if you find yourself at a location which reminds you of the answer. Okay, so we're going to have to remember that. So, 177, I'm going to have to put this up here. 7. Riddle. Liquid sour. What I want. Add. Right, we're going to go through the frosted glass, so that's going to be something we're going to come back to then. Thought you're going to go there. Hey, do it, do it. Seriously, 35. You step into a small hallway with plaster walls, large stone slabs on the floor, and a marble statue on the left-hand side. So, this is the pantry. Let's do 177. Pantry. You step into a small hallway with plaster walls, large stone slabs on the floor, and a marble statue on the left-hand side. It is another Roman. A young woman with a bow and arrow circled by hounds. The plaque identifies her as Diana. Standing at the side of the plinth is a vase, but the flowers are grey, desiccated, and covered with dust. On the opposite wall hangs a painting of a strange spiraling tower with... What is that? It looks like something you use in a science experiment. It looks like a crucible. But why have they painted a huge crucible at the top of a tower? And what's that supposed to mean? Behold the folly. The mistake of putting a gigantic ball on top of a tower, perhaps? You shake your head. What is this place? But you must stay focused on finding the professor. Straight ahead is a door, and with no alternative, you grab the handle and enter the room. So, 35. We're gonna go straight ahead. Okay, turn to 390. No, because I tried the kitchen one, and there's no number for that. There's no segment for that, unfortunately. So $3.90. The first thing you notice is a noise, a cacophony of machinery that, weirdly, you couldn't hear from the corridor. There is a vast network of various belts, cogs, and chains whirring furiously all around you. It seems to be a factory. But what is it all for? From a small room at the far end, a familiar figure emerges and walks across to you. Dr. Cinnabar. Or is it? As he gets closer, you get the distant impression that it is not the same man. What is it about him, you wonder? He reaches you, holds his hand out, and says, "Welcome!" That's it, the noise. This doctor has a sharp, pointy nose. They must be twins. The doctor twin gives a polite cough, so you rapidly shake his hand. Then he leads you to a table with a switch on it. Not quite like a NASA-like control panel, you think, but then notice a lower level at the side of this room. You peer quickly over the railings and see the cause of the noise. Rows of people are mindlessly pedaling, so the bicycle wheels, motor, all the other machinery. Most of them look exhausted, but they don't stop. The realization hits you like a smack in the face. These people look exactly like zombie victims. What is going on here? You'd expect that Bio-Imperium would test possible cures on the patients, but not this exploitation. You glimpse a fleeting look of annoyance on the second Dr. Cinnabar's face, so decide to keep your opinions to yourself, for the time being at least, and return to the table as instruction. This is another test for you, a particularly important one. Thanks, Ben, I will get that. Okay then, you think, mentally gearing yourself up with an enthusiastic smile plastered on your face. He points and continues. In that room is a person connected to electrodes. When you press the switch, an electrical current will pass through them. You will not be held responsible for any outcome. You must press the switch 3 times. Do what you think is the right action. Giving you no choice to ask any question, he leaves. Do we press the switch, or do we want to ask the peddling people about it? Yes, it's Peanut. She wants to go back outside. She's sitting there and Milo's just staring at her. Hey, cool. I found Cavern of the Snow Bitch and Fighting Fantasy for Android. That's cool. That sounds good. Do it, Eno. Let us know how far you get. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to let Peanut outside very quickly. There we go. Sorry about that. So, I know he's kind of told us to flick the switch. Let me do this. This 2 levels, right? And that's where the people on the bike are. There's a bike, just so you know. That's a bike. That's totally a bike. There's a table with a switch on it. Do you think that is the right action? Giving you no chance to ask any questions, he leaves. If you press the switch, turn to 201, but if you want to ask the peddling people about it, turn to 73. I don't know, they're all zombies. We could ask, technically, just to make sure. I don't know, because they're zombies. They don't really have any, But I'll play another time. I'm dead. Sounds good, like a plan. And you should be relaxing more than anything. It's pretty late for you, I believe. I'm going to try and ask the people at the bike. I'm going to shout down to them. 73. Okay. You stand up and lean over the railings again. Hello, hello up there. You wave and oh my god, energetically. Oh my god, what the fuck? And 11 PM sounds... Oof, you need to go to bed soon and rest. But no one looks up, no one stops pedaling. As you watch, one of them falls off and slumps onto a motionless heap on the floor. A fresh person enters the space, drags him off by the ankle, then gets onto the vacated saddle. You're now totally convinced they are victims of the zombie disease. You won't get any answers from them, so you shrug your shoulders and head back to the table to press the switch, turn to 201. So we're going to press it anyway. Sounds good. Almost nonchalantly, you press the switch, hear a crackle of electrical discharge, and then the howl of pain from the room. Yes, zombie cyclists. You tut dismissively. After all, it's a well-known psychological experiment from the 60s. They're only actors. It was designed to show how far someone would obey authority. But didn't the other doctors say the escape room was a test of obedience? Oh well, best to get this nonsense over with, so you press the switch again. This time a heart-rending scream is accompanied by a thud. It sounds like a body falling to the floor. You go to press for it for the third time, but hesitate. What if it isn't an actor? The Doctor Twin did mention the right action. Maybe this isn't what you think it is. If you want to complete the test and press the switch for the final time, turn to 321. On the other hand, you could go to the room and check on the person. What do we want to do? Do we want to flick the switch a final time? Or do we want to go check on the person? Either way, the dude did say we had to do it 3 times. So we're kind of at a point here now. You want us to go check? We can go check. Oh, I don't know where I'm putting my cup anymore. I hate that experiment. Let me just put this as a save point as well. 201. Checking the person. 137. You open the door and notice a faint whiff of barbecued meat. A woman is lying on the floor, weeping and looking around with a dazed expression. Suddenly, she notices you and holds out tethered but charred and blistered hands. Please save me. Please get me out of here. They're going to kill me. I found out about the disease. It's them. It's Bioimperium. They released a prion. They're behind the zombie disease outbreak. What? That can't be true. Is this part of the test too? At this moment, you don't know what to do at all. Bioimperium clearly doesn't play by the rules, but what's the best action here? Save her? Or is this a double bluff? Jesus, Milo. Shh. Come here, Bob. Shh. You can't stand here all day, though. Do you decide to rescue the woman, or play along and decide to press the switch for the last time as instructed? Here's what I think. I think we should flick the switch again. That's true, but that test was about if we could lie for the company. It's fucked up. But that's what we've got. I think we should press the switch a third time. She probably is telling the truth, but this company seems fucked, and they will probably want us to kill for them to progress. They don't have laws here. They are the law. They are the authority. I think we should go press the switch. I'm going to turn to 288. Let's see how well this goes. On the third press, the scream from the room is ear-piercing and lasts much longer than the switch was pressed for. Eventually, you only hear a gurgling noise, then nothing. 5 minutes later, the Doctor Twin still hasn't returned, so you go to the room. After opening the door, you pause and take in the scene. The woman is lying on the floor with her arms flexed and face contorted. There is a smoky steam emitting from her and a worrying stillness. You go over, crouch and feel for a pulse. Nothing. For a few seconds, you process this fact, then stagger back with your hand clamped over your mouth. Your brain is shouting no, 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 but you know the truth. The woman is dead. She's actually dead, and you were the one who killed her. Just then, the Doctor Twin enters and smiles. The test of ruthlessness is a particularly crucial one. It's essential to know that you're prepared to do whatever it takes, and you have passed. Others had failed at this point, but you are definitely looking promising. Mind you, from our research we thought you would be. Your ethics are dubious, to say the least. Thoughts whirl around your head. What have I got myself mixed up in? Would the police accept that I thought she was an actor? Who was that woman? I need to get out. How do I get out? There are no answers. As you stand there in a state of shock, the Doctor Twin smiles and gestures to the exit ahead. You look at him with a bewildered expression. Does he actually expect you to carry on as if you haven't just murdered someone? However, it's clear that you need to play this carefully. Making threats or demands would be unwise in your rather isolated position. So, you can either politely request to terminate the interview, turn to 344, or bide your time and compliantly follow the instructions for now. I think if we asked to stop the interview, we're killed. I think we would be that woman. There's also a picture, by the way, of her dead. That's us checking the pulse. She's obviously dead and charred and yeah. But this is going well. So he's opened up a room door for us. I'm just away because fuck it. But there we go. And yes, she would be dead weight for us. We would have instantly been killed. Crack on. Love it. We're murderers now. 68. Oof. This is kind of a bit brutal for a book. Just saying. Excellent. There is no room for squeamishness in this business, and I think we're starting to see just how far you could go. Before you carry on, though, you should examine this specimen's arm. Without waiting for your response, the Doctor Twin exits the room, and you are left alone with the corpse. Thinking that you should act as expected, you avoid rising suspicion. You roll up the woman's sleeve and see the vivid turquoise tattoos on her arm. One is a Nutella shell, and the other are a sequence of numbers. It reads 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, and 89. I'm assuming this is going to be to do with this. Presumably these are important, otherwise the Doctor Twin wouldn't have pointed them out. If you make a note of the numbers and Nautilus tattoo, following that you stand, mutter a brief apology to the woman and walk out. There is a door opposite from where you came in, and if you'd like to take that, turn to 157. However, there is a lower level with the peddlers. If you like to explore the area, turn to 14. Whatever you choose, though, you cannot hide from the fact that you have accidentally just killed someone. I've got a picture of that. So let's work this out. I think this has to do with this. So I'm gonna put my save points up here for a second. So we've got 1, 1. This may not be what I think it is, actually. E. 5 is E. This is going to be useful, I think, at some point, maybe. Or maybe not. "21 is U. No, we don't have 34. That doesn't make sense. No, that's silly. We're going to have to just make a note of this. So, we have 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. I should have realized that when 34, 5, 89, and then there we go. I'm not keen on this one. It seems too real. So the author actually worked in a hospital. She's English. She worked at Manchester Hospital. A lot of her stuff is based off things that she's kind of seen or heard about, and she's kind of put them into her work because she wanted to make horror stuff to kind of embody that. So a lot of her stuff, especially with how things would happen to the body, is detailed and realistic. Yeah. So we can either go to where the pedals are and explore there, or we can continue where we were going. So totally do this. I know it said the door was the other way, but maybe we'll see which way it goes. So let's follow the doorway that he said. But it's an experience so far. Yeah, with 157, we'll go that way. Remember, if we find a location that, remember, liquid sour, what I was before, we have to add 50 to that number, and that will lead us somewhere. So we need to remember that as well. 157. We need to make sure we remember that as well. 157. You find yourself in a small, dark foyer. A tatty green rug lies wrinkled and skewed on the flagstones, and in one corner there is a narrow spiral staircase. In the other, there is another marble statue. You go over to study it. A bearded man with two faces, one looking forwards, one backwards. Oh, this is Janus, the two-faced god. Yeah, I know Janus. I know Janus. So let me just make sure I did this. It basically was up into a foyer. Foyer! So we'll say the spiral staircase is in this corner, and then there's a statue in this one. 5%. A bearded man with two faces, one looking forwards and backwards. This is Janus. You try to recall that Janus was the god of, but you can't concentrate. Shit, wait, because I've played a game where Janus was actually Janus of Sisters. Let's see. So I know in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines we had Daughters of Janus, which was Jeanette and Teresa. Let me try and remember this. Flashbacks of the poor woman's electrocution flood your mind, and you groan in frustration. You need to focus, but on what? Finding a way to get out of here without setting off any alarms? Or should you try to reach Professor Rubidoux? You silently chastise yourself for being naive. You have to presume that he is behind this. You know, the only reason to reach the Professor is to maintain your cover as an enthusiastic interviewee. Until you find an escape, you must act as if you're totally on board. The foyer lead... I'm going to have to put Janus down here. This is all going to mean something. The foyer leads to a corridor up ahead, so if you want to go straight on, you can, or we can get up the staircase. The only way I'm going to be able to make this fit is if we say this actually, it's like that, because it's not working. So, we can either go to the corridor, or we go up the staircase. What are we thinking? Janus. What was Janus about? Does anyone remember? I definitely don't. Oof. Where's my cup? Very hot right now. Hotting. I think we should kind of maybe stay on this level. I'm going to say maybe go to the corridor 265. The walls of this short passage are filled with framed photographs, old-fashioned prints and posters. There is the, oh my god, periodic table with the elements H, G and S circled. What? We're going up this way. Periodic table H, G and S circled. Make a thing here. Further on, there is an abstract drawing of double helixes and entangled together with the letters A, T. Okay, so we've got these on the periodic table. And then we have helixes blah, 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 with A, T, C, and G repeated around all over the drawing. A fairly obvious description of the DNA with its 4 bases. But what's confusing is that this print was apparently drawn 50 years before DNA was discovered. Bemused, you carry on and reach the junction with another hallway. Yeah. To the left is the billboard room. And ahead... Okay, this is going to work. And ahead is a dining room. So what we're thinking... Oh no, not a billboard. Billiard. There's a bit of a printing mistake with this. So I've kind of noticed on a few pages now. But it looks like it's... When it's printed, it's... You can't see it very well. But like with the word print, it cuts off and it goes up a bit, like just like a millimeter or two up. So it's very weird. It's like the pages have kind of shifted a little bit when it was printed, like very quickly. Oh, it's weird. And I don't know if that. The thing is, it's not on any other parts. So it's like on certain words. Like, is this a thing? Is these clues? Because it's with the N and the A. But on the opposite side, it's fine. And on other pages, it's fine. But I've been noticing it's on, like, the odd page. Are these clues or something? Okay. I think we should go to the dining room, maybe? I don't know. I don't know where to go. Oh, or we could take the right passageway. So it actually goes like this. So there's it's a proper little thing. So we can either go to the billiard room to the left, go straight up into the dining room, or we can take the right passageway and go to the lounge. Sorry, I didn't read the full thing. My apologies. What do you think? Billiard room, dining room, or lounge? Lounge? We can do the lounge. Turn to 232. When you open the door, you hear an incoherent noise, but it cuts off as you enter. With only a few flickering candles around, it is very dark in this lounge, but you can still see the other people. They are simply standing there, staring at you. Well, this is awkward. What should you do now? If you want to announce yourself in a friendly introduction, turn to 166. Or, if you'd rather wait to see what happens, turn to 11. Ooh. I don't like how they've decided to stop and stare. Do we want to introduce, or do we wait to see what happens? Because anything can happen with this. Everything is a mystery here at this point. Oof. Oof. You think we should introduce? Okay, so to introduce, it's 166. So let me just very quickly draw the lounge as well. Decide to keep up the act and pretend that you are still taking part in an interview. After all, you never know who's watching. Hello, I'm here for the Bio Imperium. It's a confidence start, but now you look around properly. You can see that it doesn't matter. All the people are zombie victims, and most are drooling, with their heads drooped down. Suddenly, a voice shouts out from the shadows. Do you mind, intruder? If you must be here, then so be it. Be quiet. You are disturbing the spirits. And this person is satisfied that you shut up, and they start to speak. Turn to 302. Okay. 302. Speak is perhaps not the right word. It is a Wait, what? What? We're destructing spirits. Once this person is satisfied that shut up, they start to speak. Speak is perhaps not the right word. It is a language you have no knowledge of and is uttered in a growling and ponderous tone. The zombies copy the medium's chants, and now you can see her. She has silky, long, inky black hair which cascades from her head, face, and shoulders and flows over her long black velvet dress. She moves forward in a rhythmical dance, then swirls her arms over the table in the center of the room. 5 of the zombies join her, mimicking the movements. Finally, their hands link in a ring around the table. Aha! It's a seance. Spirits talk with us, the black-furred woman cries. The candles flicker, and then before your very eyes the table lifts. It tilts back and forth at first, but then rises high off the floor. I know, Jenny, I know. It spins around, and the zombies have no choice but to follow it, their hands splayed firmly on the surface. You dug down to see if someone's knee is helping the trick along, but no. After a few minutes of this furniture-related acrobatics, it's over. The astute woman collapses to the floor, breathing heavily, then asks, Stranger, your energy is strong. Perhaps you can pull the spirits through. Will you help us? You agree knowing you have to play along, but you're no fool. What do you demand in return? If you insist that the lights must be switched on, turn to 183. If you order the medium sleeves to be rolled up, turn to 94. However, if you request that the crucifix is placed on the table, turn to 272. What do we ask for? Lights to be switched on? Sleeves to be rolled up? Or a crucifix to be placed on the table? What do we think? This is just getting mental and mental, isn't it? It's all the social experiments that have happened over the years, but with a twist. It pretty much is. It really, really is. Let me just turn to something at the start of the book. Something specific here. 1 second. Like here, by I Am Malcolm, Dress Apart, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. Yeah, sometimes there is a fine line between curious tinkering and playing God. It is a relatively recent theory that claims alchemy was simply the futile pursuit of creating gold from base metals. However, throughout history, this science has always had transmutation in its sight. Humans are an odd species. We're never satisfied with what we have, we always want more, and we always want better. When that desire combines with the hubris of thinking what we and only we are capable of achieving this, dangerous ideas evolve. Sometimes there is a fine line between curious tinker and playing God. I like that. I like that they put that in there. The choices are, if you insist that the lights must be switched on, turn to 183. If you order the medium sleeves to be rolled up, turn to 94. However, if you request that a crucifix is placed on the table, turn to 272. That is our... I don't know, but that is what alchemy is originally all about. I know a lot of things have kind of like changed throughout the years, but it's interesting. It is interesting. Oof. Crucifix, we could do crucifix. Turn to 272. Don't know why I went so far back then. 272. You point at the large ornate crucifix and act with such grave authority that it comes as a bit of a shock when the medium bursts into laughter. The zombies instantly copy her, bending over and clutching their stomachs. After a while she manages to speak and tells you that you have absolutely failed the test of gullibility. You actually believe in spirits? You really thought the table was being moved by a ghost? And with that, she sets off laughing again. Well, that's humiliating, you think, and quickly head for the exit, turn to 102. Wow, okay. I didn't know that. Okay. I mean, if you think about it from a scientist's logical point of view, they don't believe that sort of stuff. So yeah, we shouldn't have actually joined in with her. So that actually makes sense. So... Then again, some people are religious and they believe in, like, higher power and stuff like that, so... I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. It's yet another simple, stone-tiled corridor, but at least that's not too long. There is a small plain door on the left which warns, danger, unauthorized entry is strictly forbidden. But if you want to break the rules and go in regardless, turn to 354. Otherwise, there is a main door ahead. It has no signs or clues as to what lies beyond, but your options are limited as if you choose this route. Turn to 398. I am a higher power. You did call yourself God the other day, so sure, you can be the higher power. We might have to take a break soon, or well, I'm gonna have to stop soon because it's getting a little bit late, and I actually might need some sugar. In a bit. So, do we want to? I kind of want to go into the danger room. I'm not gonna lie. I want to know what's going on. I'm gonna go in. Let's go into this room. 354. Are you sure about that? Opening the door carefully, you can see no obvious reason for the warning sign. There is a keypad on the wall with the instructions insert ID number, but apart from that, it is an empty room. You take another step forward. There is a muffled explosion and a fine spray of droplet envelops your face. You cough, splutter, and wipe the mist out of your eyes. After waiting a few nerve-wracking seconds, you can see if an awful reaction is going to happen. You eventually conclude that it was some form of decontamination, or perhaps just a prank. Tick the code word prion. We've got one! Yay! Wow, chat. Very nice. You're about to leave when you hear some voices coming from a vent in the opposite wall. You press your ear against the grill and listen. Efficiency is the highest priority, Dr. Cinnabar. There will be considerable objection to the workers, so we must demonstrate the cost-cutting opportunities that they represent. But cannibalism, Dr. Cinnabar? Surely that's a step too far. Nonsense, Dr. Cinnabar. The multitude of corpses is an untapped resource. Why waste valuable foodstuff on them when they can get all the nutrients they need from the cadavers? It's not like they'll complain about the cuisine. And with that, the two Dr. Cinnabars start chortling, then walk away. You are stunned by what you've heard, but there's not a lot you can do about it now. You leave the room, go back into the corridor and open the main door. Turn to 398. Both of yous, Jesus Christ. You'll crack me up. You enter a warm and humid conservatory with a strong smell of soil and a hum of insects in the air. It's a long room, and at the far end there are some men repotting plants and filling water cans. They haven't noticed you yet, but could be because they all seem to be blind. They have long canes and are tapping their way from one plant to another. You can walk directly to them and see if they know anything about your next test. Or maybe you'd like to have a nosy around first. There are some strange purple plants growing in the corridor of the conservatory. They're covered with iridescent scales, and if you want to examine them, turn to 259. However, the tool cupboard interests you. The tool cupboard interests you too, so if you want to see if there's anything useful, you could take it from there. Turn to 5. No comment at all. I'm going to turn to 5, and I'm probably going to end it there. Do it as a save point, and then we continue this another day with all the other stuff that we're doing. Yeah, that might actually be a good plan. I'll be 1 moment. Sorry about this. Okay. Here I come. Ginger sugar? What the hell? How rude. Right, number 5. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all. There is a heavy padlock through the cupboard. Milo, how dare you? There is a heavy padlock through the cupboard handles. You're not going to get that open without causing a commotion. When you stand up, you see a scrap of paper weighted down by a trowel. It looks like a reminder for those who forget the combination to the lock. When you divide the lock number by 3, then add 40, then multiply 5, you get 805. You know what the combination number is, you spin the digits into the padlock. When you divide the lock number by 3... Okay, wait. What? Okay, 803. Wait, what? What does that mean? When you divide the lock number by 3, then add 40, then multiply by 5, you get 805. Dudes, you're good at maths. Figure that one out. When you divide the lock number by 3, then add 40, and multiply by 5, you get 805. So we have to work backwards for this. Oh no. Okay, I need a fucking calculator for this. One moment. I'll use a calculator. Okay, wait. Look at the maths. I moved from payroll to recruitment for a reason. I mean, fair. So, let me try and work this out. Oh no. Easier if I just... Wait. I'm trying to work this out. I'm actually gonna have to bend this a little bit. Wait, divide lot by 3. Sorry, pardon me. 805. Oh, this is... I don't know this. Help us! Help us! I don't know this. Oh. So this is... Okay. Wait. No, 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 no. This is like some division. Wait. Okay. Wait. Wait. So let's 805 divided by 805 Divide by 3. Oh, no. By 5. Wait, okay. Divide by 5 because we've multiplied by 5. So we're taking away that 5. So that will be... What does my calculator say? 161. So... And then we're going to be using the 40. So we added 40. So we'll take away the 40. So equals 161 minus 40, which is 121. But I'm trying to work this out here. This isn't going well. Wait, I can do this. And then we times by 3, which is... No, wait, I did that wrong. Wait, 121, which is... time... No. By 3. 3... Let me do this. So 363. Let me do this. So let me check this. So 363. We'll divide it by 3 plus 40 times by 5 equals no. No, let me try that again. So 360. I'm just making sure I'm right here. So 363. Divided by 3 equals that. Yeah, no, that's works. So if we divide it by 3 is 121, and then we add 40, that, and then times by 5. So it is 363. I don't know why I struggled with that. So it's 363. See, I got there in the end. We just had to do it backwards. Fuck's sake. I'm such an idiot. We had to take away the stuff instead of adding it because I'm an idiot. So it's 363. Jesus Christ. How dare. It's been a long time since I had to do maths, right? I did that in my head. Shut up. Should have helped. 363. You pull the cupboards open, but there's nothing inside except for the half-empty bag of sunflower seeds and a circuit board. Okay, so we have sunflower seeds and a circuit board. No spare plant pots or watering cans or even fertilizer. You pick up the circuit board and examine it. Someone has painted a large number 15 on the back. On the back with white paint, but otherwise there's nothing amazing about it. Still, you never know, so you put it and the seeds into your rucksack and decide that it's time to speak with the blind men. Turn to 110. How did I get 41? I don't know. But I still appreciate it anyway. I was typing ahead of you and it just didn't show fast enough on your screen. It's all good. There is a small delay. I can make the delay slower, but it also lowers the quality of the stream. So I don't know how well that would do. Jesus fucking Christ. Let me go back to the video on YouTube. I switched over to my calculator. I like how you all think I'm going to die too many times, but so far I haven't. So how dare you? How dare you all? Thanks for that. So rude. So rude. Ah. Very nice. Very nice. Right. You walk through the draping foliage until you reach the end of the conservatory. The blind men hear your footsteps and turn around. I know. You recoil at the sight. All of them have no eyeballs and their eyelids are sunken into their empty sockets. As you draw close, one of them raises the hand to stop you. You are worthy of your time if you pass the test of vigilance. Applicants, you have walked by some statues of God. Have you noted their names and how they are depicted? Tell us who the deity of wisdom is. If you think you know, then turn the name into a number by using the code. A is 1, V is 2, C 3, C there. And these numbers together. And turn to the section with the same number. If you have passed by these statues in nonchalant haze, you have no idea. No, so we had Diana. We had Diana. Janice. It's definitely not Janice, I know that much. And Minerva. There we go. I had to remember that then. I'm not good at that. Minerva. Who was I think Luna said is the goddess of knowledge. So let's try and do this. So M is, so let me put this thing in there. It's going to turn into it. Add these numbers together and then turn to the section with the same number. Okay, so M is 14. Oh, fucking hell. So 1 second. I got this. So we're using this here. Sorry. I'll try and move to the side so you can still see it. See, I'm learning. M is 13, sorry. I is 9. N is 14. E is 5. R is 18. B is 22. A is 1. Let's do some more maths. Look at me and my fucking calculator. Let's do my fucking thing again. Jesus Christ. So, because I'm not writing this all out. 18, 22 plus 1. We're going to 82. There we go. Sorted. It's all good. It's all good. It's no problem. We're going to 82. I think it's 82. I think that's the correct one anyway. That wasn't difficult. Janus with 2 faces was the god of entry and exit. Oh! See, I knew it wasn't that. 82. Diana with the hounds was the god of hunting, which I know that. No, Minerva was the wise owl, was the right answer. The blind men nod and say solemnly, being blind, our help is limited. They created embryos with mixed human and fly DNA. The intentions was to have humans with compound eyes, and it worked. However, they failed to account for the fact that houseflies live for only 4 weeks. After a month, the eyes simply died and putrefied, and that was that. They call us the flymen or the discarded ones, but despite our disability, we can give you some good advice. When you exit here, you can find yourself in the garden. What? You shout, no, I want to go home. The exit must be somewhere here in the house. It is too late for that. You either enhance the disease or they will deal with you. Who's they? Maybe I can talk to them, come to some arrangement. The flymen laugh at this idea. Plainly, it's the most stupid thing he's ever heard. Talk to the clones? Oh no, that wouldn't work at all. They are devoted to the professor and his grand ideas. Try to leave and they will kill you or turn you. And I'm not sure which is worse. To have any chance of surviving this, you need to call for help. Get the police here, expose the wrongdoings. He then brushes himself down and says in a matter-of-fact fashion, you must head for the Folly, and on your way, make sure that you find the gardener. It is imperative that you speak with her, but you will have to crouch. Okay. Crouch. Find gardener. And crouch. That's good to know. There is a lengthy and increasingly awkward pause, but then one of the other men bursts out. I remember the word bed. Here we go. We have... Do we have bed? No, we don't have bed. Bed is not on there, but I'm gonna remember word bed. There we go. It's all good, it's all good. Okay, that sounds weird, but the flymen have stepped to one side, allowing you to pass. So it would seem that they want you to leave for now. Turn to 332. God, I can't even freaking do it. 332. I think ending here is a good chance anyway. I think this is a good stop to stop. This is a good time to stop because it is 10 o'clock. I'm going to put this on the saved list. I've not died yet. So in your face, I've not died. So I'm good. But I'm stopping here. We'll be continuing this another day. We've killed someone though, but it wasn't me. So I'm just gonna put this upside down like that. Save. We're on a 332. But yeah, that's what we've got so far. We've not died yet, which is shocking in itself because honestly, nearly 2 hours in, I thought we would have died multiple times by now. Yeah, you have managed to help me stay alive. I didn't expect math questions though. That one threw me for a bit. But I figured it out, which is fine. That's the main thing. We've got some clues that we've written down. We've found some things as well. And we've got some numbers and a picture of a shell. So we need to remember the Nautilus, whatever it's called. Her books are very puzzle based. And obviously, we're just human beings, so we can die from anything and everything. So that's why we don't have stats. There's no magic or anything like that, but there is loot. So that's something. It's an interesting way of doing it. Night Shift was really cool as well. People would have enjoyed that one quite a lot. It was more of a Outlast sort of style of game, where you're trying to get out and you're being chased by this person in a plague mask. You wouldn't continue with the book at all. I mean, fair, but like, it's still cool. It's still cool. No, I meant not dying. It's a first. It's a first. But I enjoy these types of books. It's very good. It's very well done. I only wish, I know she's a smart person, Victoria Hancox, but I wish that some of the words that is written in there, it makes sense because you know, you're a scientist, you're smart, logical, knowledge and all that jazz, but why the big words? I can't pronounce them. I can't pronounce a lot of things because sometimes my mouth, my tongue, and my brain don't coordinate well. And I don't know why. But yes, that's where we're going to leave it for now. I appreciate you all helping me. Thank you so much. What is your thoughts about the book so far, though? Let me ask that. It's the experience way too real. The thing is, though, like I said before, Victoria did work in hospital. She worked at Manchester Hospital. So a lot of her stuff is based around that sort of thing. Like, the Night Shift, the actual map for the hospital is basically the map of the actual hospital. She doesn't tell us which hospital because there's multiple hospitals in Manchester, but it's one of them. So there. She's very realistic with the experiments with what happens with the body. Obviously, she worked in hospital and all that jazz. So I kind of, at the same time, I appreciate that the knowledge is there in the books, but at the same time, it does add the fact that the knowledge is there. It does add this sort of creepiness to it. But yeah, it adds the fear factor and the creepiness, because the fact that most of these were done IRL, and the fact that somewhere in the world these things are still going on, that's the thing. Oh, I love my fantasy. It's rare that I do books like these. I appreciate them just as much, but I love my fantasy as well, so don't worry about that. Magical based books, I love the fantasy side as well. I do. But yeah, let's leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the help. And Luna, thank you as well, because with you mentioning about the Goddess of Knowledge, we were able to work out one of the puzzles, so thank you for that. I appreciate it. No, thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate it. I know some books aren't a lot of people's thing, but I appreciate it. We will be doing, with it being Smuttember, by the way, we will be doing some reading sprints. So we will have some of them going up at some point. But yeah, good night everyone. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. Stay awesome.